Just because our Canadian winter begins doesn't mean that fly fishing is done for the year. There are many year-round angling opportunities in both British Columbia and Alberta. The North Raven River, also known as Stauffer Creek, is a spring-fed creek that has open water sections all year round. The fish are weary in this creek and come in all sizes. Species present include brown trout, brook trout, whitefish, and even northern pike. I can't see my fly. I got one. Buddy, that's a nice overwintering little fish there. Little brownie. Just switched up to a lighter presentation there, and he took the dry fly actually this time of year. Oh, there he goes. There we go. Got one. Right on. Got the odds against us fishing a spring creek in this cold weather, but the hopper dropper's been doing wonders. Here's a typical spring creek. Beautiful little brown trout. There's a finished product right there. Whew. Let's get another one. On this segment, we're fishing a hatch common to winter and late winter months throughout Alberta. It's called a tiny winter black stone hatch. We're fishing nymphs and dry fly forms of this insect. Oh man, threw out a streamer and got this pike. What a surprise. Oh. Might need your net. Oh, look at him go. Took me into some weeds. There we go. This guy's probably eaten a few browns in his day. What a surprise, northern pike. Woo! There are many elements to consider when fishing low water during the winter months or on clear spring-fed creeks. First off, treading lightly and using stealth are a must in order to go undetected by weary trout. Next to consider is clothing selection. Avoid wearing very bright clothing or clothes that have a high contrast compared to your surroundings. Tones of tan or brown are usually good selections. Equipment selection when fishing these creeks is very important in order to get your fly presented in an accurate and delicate manner. Fly rods in the 7 to 8 foot range and 3 to 5 weight range are preferred for today's conditions. Although we landed small fish today, the potential to hook browns up to 8 pounds is common, and these rods could still potentially land fish of that size. Any heavier of a rod, and you're dealing with casting larger diameter lines that may spook fish when they land on the water. Next, let's talk tippet selection. When choosing tippet materials, generally there are two main choices. More expensive, basically invisible fluorocarbon materials, or traditional monofilament tippets. Tippets range from 0 to 8x. The higher the number, the lighter the tippet and thinner the diameter. When using smaller flies, lighter tippet should be selected. As you can see, when this number 18 blue wing olive is tied to 6x tippet, the knot size and tippet diameter is much smaller in contrast to the fly when compared to the 2x tippet attached to it. Making the proper selection of tippet is especially important when fishing slower, clear stretches of water where fish are easily spooked. And by selecting the right tippet, your presentations can be very stealthy and prevent feeding fish from being put down. when fishing faster water, you might be able to get away with slightly heavier tippet. Lastly, although adding dry fly floating to your dry flies keeps them floating nice, do not add it to your tippet material. As you can see, when the tippet can't break the surface tension of the water, it's much more visible to trout compared to tippet material without floating that can break the surface tension. All these tips on equipment selection and approaching a spring creek can really up your odds when fishing them, and hopefully have you catching fish in no time at all. What would a trip to Alberta be without hitting the world famous Bow River? This trout fishery is available year-round to anglers. Calgary receives a weather anomaly known as Chinook winds. These winds occur throughout the winter months, bringing in gusts of warmer weather for anglers to enjoy. This was a mid-January day, and we were joined by our good friend, Kyle Polychuk from Calgary. The weather actually got to 14 degrees thanks to some Chinook winds, and we landed some decent rainbow trout. Have a look.
Here's a nice 16-inch rainbow or so. Just got him on the bow. Oh, there he goes. Yes.
Going under the ice. That 14-pound cast on. This could get ugly. Uh-oh. Look at that, it's like right under the snow. Oh no. Oh no.
Not only can the ice on the Bow River be dangerous to the angler if they don't practice proper caution, the ice can also be a hazard for fishing. Oftentimes the rainbow trout will try using the ice like other forms of cover that they use in the summertime, for example a log, and they'll try digging you underneath the icebergs.
Beauty Bow River bow.
That's a picture. Like 20 or 30.
Yeah. Nice. Should I dip it down there? Or just him down there? That was a wicked flight.
Whoa, look at that fish go, Kyle. He tried jumping onto that iceberg. Whoa. Well, sometimes you land them and sometimes you don't. Unfortunately, the big one got away one more time. We'd like to thank Kyle Polychuk for taking us out on the Bow River on this beautiful winter day. And we'd like to thank you for watching this special DVD of ours. Good luck next time when you're out on the water, and tight lines to everyone.
There we go. Oh, I don't believe it. A whitefish actually took the streamer. You gotta be careful this time here. That ice just broke. Look at that. Beauty Rocky Mountain whitefish. Handled not too bad.
Woo!
At WesternSportfishing.ca.